Greetings, football fans all across the Southeast. We're here today to take on week 3 of the SEC slate of games, and hope you're enjoying the picks so far the last 2 weeks. Here we go, starting it off. Now that the SEC's gotten most of the cupcakes out of the way, teams like Texas, UAB, and the like, it's time for some real college football. Saddle up, buccos. It's time for the real rodeo. Except, I forgot one. New Mexico at Texas A&M, or as we fondly call them, ATM. Danny Speedy Gonzalez brings his Jackals into Kyle Field to mingle with Jumbo Fisher and his Prairie Dogs. After last week's scare at Denver, the 12th man may be needed at quarterback. Questionable call, Ronny Lynn's loser, Hyenas, 40-3. Next on the agenda is Chattanooga versus Kentucky. Rusty Gate Wright slithers his snakes into the bluegrass to tempt Mark Air Raid Stoops and his precocious Lynx. Nuga may hang in for a while, but in the end, Ronny Lynn's loser, Ophidians 56-14. Will this never stop? Southeast Missouri State versus Missouri. Tom, how do you pronounce your last name? Natukowitz rolls his scarlet kestrels into Columbia, Missouri, not South Carolina, to brawl with Elijah Toast Drinkowitz and a Panthera Tigress. Move along. Nothing to see here. Ronny Lynn's loser, bird on a skewer, 56-17. Oh, no, here's another one. Tennessee Tech versus Tennessee. Dwayne DePlain Boss Alexander flies his flaxen Aquillos into Knoxville to joust with the musket-toters of Josh Darn Heupel. Bad choice. Them Tennessee boys are natural hunters. Ronny Lynn's loser, Birds of Prey, 34-17. Finally, a real football game. Almost. Bama versus Florida. Well, old Danny Boy Mullen and his Swamp Lizards attempt to do the impossible. Beat the goat and his stampeding pachyderms. That dark stuff between the elephant's toes are just slow gators. Ronny Lynn's loser, Crocs, 42-21. Oh, come on now. Georgia Southern versus Arkansas. Hanging Chad Lunsford and his Falcons swing into Razorback Stadium, which is a major mistake, to take on the high-strutting Boars of Sam the Sham Pittman. Nothing but feathers on the ground when this one's over. Ronny Lynn's loser, Raptors, 38-15. At least this one might be all right. Mississippi State versus Memphis. Mike and Ike Leach flies his Bombardiers into Blues Central to confront Ryan Silverfield's Carnivores. This will be an aerial showcase. Ronny Lynn's losers, Cats, 35-30. Finally, some more real football. South Carolina versus Georgia. Shane Irishman Beamer tries to ease his birdies into Sanford Stadium to surprise Smarty Pants and his boisterous bow wows. Fat chance, Shane. Ronny Lynn's loser, Spurs, 52-10. Here's a cross-conference battle here that might be interesting. The Barn versus Penn State. Brian Cupcake Harson brings his Griffins to Happy Valley to engage James Franklin's Mountain Cats. A real test for the Flatlanders from the Plains. Ronny Lynn's loser, the Barn, 30-24. Now we get into more powder puff football. Central Michigan versus LSU. Jim Tomahawk McElwain travels south with his Native Americans to skirmish with Corch Onu and his Mousers. Crossing the Mason-Dixon line is a no-no. Tigers get the scalps. Ronny Lynn's loser, Chips, 41-20. Better. Tulane versus Ole Miss. Willie on the Fritz paddles his verdescent Ripple upriver to meet Fast Lane Kiffin and the Grovers. The Greenies did a good job with the Boomers, but this is SEC Party Central.